recorded.
I brought it down. No, it's in my pocket. Okay.
This is going to be recorded. And pretty much, guys, for those of you that don't know me, for those of you that are watching the recording, my name is Jordan, and I have been trading for about 2.5 years, almost 3 years now. And I pretty much came down to a lot of different things. A lot of different things have happened in my experience. A lot of challenges, a lot of failures, a lot of success, a lot of experience. Learn from some amazing people. And I just want to share that information down to you guys as well. And if you guys have anything you can share, feel free to comment or unmute yourself at any time. If you have any questions, comments, or any additional info or charts you want to go over, definitely feel free to do that as well. I'm going to be getting into a couple things on the psychology side of trading, which is very important. A lot of people overlook this, and it's really the most important part. And a lot of people, okay, you said you cannot hear me? Can you guys hear me? Drop a 1 if you can hear me. Drop a 1 if you can hear me. Okay, you can hear me. Is it good? Is it clear? Is it crystal clear? Okay, good. Sexy. It's sexy clear. That's facts. Okay. Yeah, I do have a couple setups for tonight as well. I do have some signals to call out. I want to give you guys what I'm looking at. I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at. But before I get into that, I want to go ahead and what's up, Alexander? Welcome to the call. A couple things that really I've said this probably before, and I want to just say it again because I'm sure someone on here watching this now or that's watching the recording should probably hear this, and that's that the first rule in trading is to preserve capital, and the second rule is to increase capital. So if you find yourself having any type of inconsistency, or if you find yourself that you're not able to grow your income from your trading account, pretty much there's this thing that Mark Douglas calls, it's called the profit gap. And pretty much the profit gap is the difference between the amount of money you actually ended up with and the amount of money that you would have ended up with if you had followed your trading plan. And the profit gap is something that hurts a lot of traders, and probably every trader goes through some type of profit gap, and that's what it's called. It's called a profit gap. The difference between what you would have made if you had followed your plan and what you actually ended up with. Okay. The difference between, I'm not going to type it out, but the profit gap. And for my first 3 to 6 months, I didn't really know what I was doing, but the next probably 2 years after that, the profit gap was something that was really that I became aware of, that it was actually starting to make my trading not as profitable as it could have been, because I was doing all the right things on the charts. I was calling out signals. I was doing the best setups, and over time, I started to realize that if I had just followed my trading plan, I would have ended up with more than I actually ended up with. And I think it's because typically as traders, we think that small losses don't matter. We think that random trades don't matter. We can find ourselves entering random trades at random times. Drop a 1 if that's true for you so far, if anyone can relate to that. Is anyone in here sometimes take random trades at random times of the day and take random losses? Yeah, that's something that I've definitely done a lot in the past. Okay, Will, could you elaborate? Could you elaborate on that question, Will? Do you mean finding signals that are called out and entering in time, or do you mean finding an entry that follows your trading plan and entering before it moves, or kind of both? Or I'm not sure exactly what the question is. Not sure on that. You guys can unmute yourself. There's only 14 on here, so the entry important. Finding the entries on time as I work a full schedule. Watching the charts is hard. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Finding the entries on time as I work a full schedule. Watching charts is hard. Okay, perfect. I'm glad you said that. Okay, I'm glad you said that. Will and Jacob both. So would you say that one thing that you could improve on? Well, we can always improve at everything, right? But one thing that you're really looking for the next step of growth on would be entries. Then you're looking to find an entry, and what I would say for you, Jacob, would be to find a trading window that suits you. That's something that helped me. I don't know how I ever traded without a trading window. It makes me go crazy trying to look at the charts at random times of the day. So this is why that what I always when I talk about, I don't know if you've seen the video, it's on my YouTube, but I learned this from Luke Longmire, and it's the trading plan. It's a very simple way to create a trading plan. And there's 4 steps to this trading plan. It's super simple, and you should be able to remember it and follow it, most importantly. So the first step of the trading plan is, what are you trading? What are you trading? What pairs is pretty much what I'm saying is what pairs, okay? And then the second one, what time are you trading? Pick a window. And I recommend personally a 2 to 3 hour window. Pick a 2 to 3 hour window, and whether it should be in either New York session or London session. Ultimately, it probably doesn't matter what you select, but I have found that from 8 a.m. Central Time to 10 a.m. Central Time has been the best window for me personally. I trade gold. So for example, if you guys see on my chart, I trade 3 different pairs. I'll trade gold, SPX, and USD CAD. I don't trade any other pairs. Now, there is one way that I do trade another pair, and I have this rule that's in my trading plan, which my trading plan is more advanced than this, but this is the simple version of what I would say. Okay. But let me get into these other 2 rules, and I'll elaborate on that on the pairs side of things. But what is your setup? What is your setup? So that's like your entry, exit, confirmation, and management plan. That's going to be a little bit more elaborated. It's a little bit longer than the rest of the other 2. And then the 4th one would be your PIP or percentage goal / risk management plan. Okay. So it's a simple way to like look at how you trade, and it will actually help you trade with clarity. That's important, because if you're just going into the markets blindly and expecting something to happen for you, it's probably not going to happen. You may get lucky here and there, but that's not really the goal. Matter of fact, while we're on the topic of goals, could you guys drop in the chat, what are your goals with trading? What would you like to accomplish with Forex in the next, say, 3 to 5 years? Drop it in the chat. Go ahead and drop in the chat what you're looking to accomplish in the next 3 to 5 years trading Forex. And if you've never thought that far into the future, now would be the time to think that far into the future, because if you don't really have a 3 to 5 year plan in trading, but really in anything in life, you're not really setting yourself up to win. You need to really look ahead and have depth of vision. Okay. Finding the entries on time as I work a full schedule, watching the charts. Okay. Quit my job, go full-time trading, and travel full-time. Okay, perfect. Trading full-time while I jumpstart my YouTube career. Yes, absolutely. Exactly. That's what I love it. That's why I love trading as well, because I feel like as human beings, we really just want to create and express ourselves. We really want to explore. We really want to, and be creative. We're creative beings. We want to express ourselves. Charity says, be able to stay home for my new baby. Congratulations on the new baby, Charity. Be able to stay home and travel the world with him. Yeah, absolutely. All these things are very attainable to you, but give yourself a realistic time window. Give yourself a realistic time window. And I'm not someone that likes to set dates on goals. I like to have a general time frame where I want to achieve something. But I have found that when you have specific dates on goals, it can really cause doubt to creep in, because if you're pressured to achieve something by a certain time, it can be good and bad. Like there's pros and cons of it. The pros of it would be it would give you a sense of urgency to learn faster and grow faster. And the cons of that would be that, from a vibrational standpoint, from an energetic standpoint, if you feel like you're not going to hit it, then you're not going to hit it. And that's really just how life works in general. The most important thing about anything in life from my perspective, what I've experienced is that you literally just have to believe you can do it. You really do. Like it really is, it's easier said than done, but I believe that all things in life are that simple, are quite literally that simple. He who thinks he can is right, and he who thinks he can't is also right. That's so true. And it's very often overlooked. A lot of beginner traders, and they're looking for the perfect strategy. They're looking for the shortcut, the signals group. They're looking for what can get them the result the fastest. The fastest way for you to get the result you want outside in the world is for you to work on yourself, is for you to grow as an individual, because whatever you feel inside you is going to reflect in everything you do in your life. So regardless whether that's Forex or whether that's any other business or whether that's anything in your life, you have to know that you're the vibrational creator of your life. You're the one that's creating everything in your experience. So if you want to travel the world, if you want to quit your job, or if you want to spend more time with your family, you need to focus on that more than you focus on anything else. Because one thing that one of my mentors taught me, one thing that I've learned that's really held true to me, is that when your why is strong enough, the how doesn't matter. And that's so true. Like if you have a strong enough reason to do something, you're going to find a way to do it. It doesn't matter what your current level of experience is. It doesn't matter what your past was, how good you are currently at the present moment. The universe doesn't care what your current situation is. It cares what your current vibrational offering is. So if you can give a vibration of believing you've already received it, you're going to start heading in that direction. The information's kind of just come right to you. And that's what I found to be true. So let me check these comments. It's a lot of hard work, and a smidge of luck goes a long way. Yeah. See, when it comes to luck, trading, when it comes to luck, okay, let me talk about luck real quick, because the thing is, you can get lucky on a trade by trade basis, but being lucky long term, I'm not going to say it doesn't work, but if you're in the vibration of being lucky, then of course you're going to continue being lucky. But it's really consistency. It's a lot of consistency. It's a lot of discipline. It's a lot of learning. It's a constant ability to evolve and adjust, because the markets are always changing. They're changing in volatility. I mean, as far as how the markets move, it's the same. It's based on algorithms. The banks move the market in a certain way, grab liquidity, and so on and so forth. Oh yeah, meaning in life in general. Yeah, well, I think that life is here. We're just here to grow. We're here to learn things. We're here to grow. We're here to evolve. We're here to become great in whatever shape or form. Yep. What advice could you give to help you become consistent? In my opinion, I noticed that my mind state is a direct result of my trading. Yeah, it is. 100% it is. One thing that's helped me, and I can't say I'm perfect with this because I too make mistakes when my mindset is not in the right place. And what I have done to minimize the mistakes I make when life happens, like at the end of the day, all of us go through shit from time to time, and things in our life happen that can sometimes throw us off. So when that does happen, there's a couple things you can do. Okay. And the first one would be know when to stop. What's up, Sean John? Welcome to the call. The question is, what can you do? What can you do to help your mind state to keep you consistent? Now, I believe that all of us have the skills and the capability of being consistent. I believe that we all are consistent for a period of time. And what I've found to be true in my experience is that for years, I was consistent for 2 months straight, or 3 weeks straight, or 3 months straight. And then I would have 1, 2, 3, 4 days that would wipe out those entire weeks or months of profit. So what I have learned from that is to know and be aware of when that is my state of mind, and know when to walk away from the markets. Because there's certain times where let's just say you're following your trading plan, you're doing everything right, you're consistent, and then suddenly you start not following your trading plan. You start doing things that you're not supposed to do. Let's say you're greedy, or let's say you are, you take a random trade. Let's say, like, you could literally create a rule in your trading plan. Once I do this twice, I'm done for the week. Or let's say if I over leverage one time, I'm done for the week. And I think it comes down to reflection. If no matter what happens in your life, if you can keep your night routine and your morning routine on point, it's going to help you keep your life on track. And anytime that I've veered off in the wrong direction with my life or with my trading, it was because that I stopped being consistent with my morning and night routine. I found that if you keep a morning and night routine, it's like at the end of the day, no matter how fucked up your day was, you can always reflect and recenter yourself before going to sleep. If you can have the discipline to do that, if you can have the discipline to reflect and recenter yourself before you go to sleep, then you can do that. And when you wake up in the morning, make sure you're focused on the right things right when you wake up. Doing the right things right when you wake up is going to help you a lot. It's going to help you a lot. But let's say life happens. For some reason, you can't do what you normally do. What I would do is just know that's the case, become aware that's the case, and then just step away and say, you know what, we're going to take the week off. And I've had multiple times where I would be consistent for 2 months straight, and then I would have like 2-3 days where I took some dumb losses, maybe lost 5%, and I usually risk 1% per trade. So let's say I lost 5% in like 2 days or one day. What I would do is I would literally take an entire week off on purpose. And what I have found is that some of my best trading weeks are the week after a week off, because that week off allows you to reflect, to regather yourself, to not be emotional, to not be, quick on the trigger. A lot of times I think that could definitely help. Yes. Meditation right when I wake up. Yeah. I don't think I could survive without a meditation right when I wake up. I don't think I could. Meditation is a very powerful tool that you can use to do just about anything. Really, I'm not going to put any limit on meditation. I don't know everything there is to know about meditation, but it is a powerful thing. So I would say that meditation, the morning routine, discipline, recentering yourself. Really, the key one, I think, is noticing how you, from an energetic standpoint, how you fall asleep is how you wake up. How you fall asleep is how you wake up. And if you have momentum going into you falling asleep, you wake up in momentum with your goals, with your progress, with your energy. If you go to sleep hating life, you're gonna wake up hating life. I found that to be true for me. Okay, so that's would be on the mindset side of things, on the psychology side of things. Whiteboards as well. Whiteboards is probably one of the most powerful tools I use personally. Whiteboards and also affirmations. Whiteboards and affirmations. If you can set up an environment for success where everything you need to see or everything that's going to help you grow is always right in front of you, it's like it literally automates success. Like whatever you think about, you become. So if you're always looking at it, then it's going to be in your thought process. And if it's in your thought process, you're going to start figuring out how to do it, or you're going to stay focused on it. That's why it's important to always look at your goals and think about your goals and, focus on your goals. Because if you can put whiteboards and dream boards and, pictures of what you want everywhere around you in your room, in your house, in your office, it's going to make it easy for you to stay focused. But if you don't, it's not. It's a simple thing. I also put my trading journal on a whiteboard as well. Trading journal, trading plan, really have a whiteboard for everything. Okay, so with that being, I'm gonna get into a couple of setups that we have for this week. I have 2 different trades on SPX, 2 on USD CAD, and 1 on gold that I'm looking at right now. First one being is gold, and we did call out a sell earlier today. I took a break even. It actually ended up hitting TP if you would have held it, but I didn't really like how it was looking at the time of day. I decided to close it. Break even is better than a loss, or whatever, so on and so forth. So I have a sell limit on here, and I want to break down this trade setup and why I've chosen to set this pending order. This is a pending order. So I want to point out right here, Probably the first thing that you may notice is this green box. This green box is the point of interest that I'm looking at to enter. And it is basically, it's an order block. Excuse me. An order block is where the banks are looking to mitigate positions. So, really just explaining this in a very simple terms, pretty much every move, or what is it, 60%, 70% of the market is moved by the institutions. So the last candle in a certain direction is where the money is for them to go ahead and hit break even, because it was once told to me that the banks don't take losses, they just take wins and break evens. So if that's true, if that's the case, then basically they're looking to take a break even on their buys right here, possibly, or looking to sell. Either way, it's a point of interest. It's an order block. It's pretty much the last up before this swing down. And I have marked a couple other areas, what you have seen. The X's represents where some stop losses are probably at. Some stop losses. Why would there be stop loss right here? Because it is a swing high, whatever, so on. This is the last swing low. Stop losses underneath. And then this is just the most recent high. Stop losses. The pink area that I have marked is the liquidity. That is the liquidity. That is where money is at. So wherever money is where price goes before turning around and going the other direction. So I'll be looking to enter in those areas of those pink boxes. But more specifically, I do have a sell limit on this one on gold at this green box. So feel free to plug that in. I'm going to send that into the chat here soon. But that is the setup. Just because I'm calling a trade does not mean it's going to win. Does not mean you have to take the trade. Does not mean you have to do anything, really. It's just I'm just telling you what I'm doing, and I'm telling you why I'm doing it. Okay, SPX. Earlier in the week, we had this actually marked up. Same thing here. We got order block right here. This guy, I chose this one because I actually called this one a while back, and it still is just chilling up there. So we may see that one happen later. It's kind of far away at this point. It may just be left there for a while. I'm looking for sells up in that area, but on the short term, I'm hoping to see it come to this order block right here for a couple reasons. A couple reasons I chose this one right here. Okay. The reason why I like this one so much is that, let's see, it is following basically consolidation zone. It broke out of the consolidation zone, and now the order block is left back within the consolidation zone. So that's usually a good sign that, it could come back in here and then take a drop. So I'm looking to sell off this candle right here. I'm looking to sell right off this guy right here, this big guy. So I don't know if I called this out or not, but I was honestly expecting it to come up there before it broke this low. But if that's not the case, then I don't really see anything else other than potentially this area in here. I could see it dropping down to here, and that would be my final swing target on that trade. So I would actually am looking to take that one down there if we do get that. Does anyone have any questions on either of that? Yeah, you can reach out anytime. What's up, Sean John? My boy Sean. My boy John. Dude, okay, let's take it together, man. I'll take it. I'll do a double lot in your name. I do a double lot in your name. I'm just kidding. I don't do that. I don't over leverage anymore. I promise. So yeah, I like that right there. That's pretty cool. That's pretty dope. Looking for that. And that's pretty much what I got. SPX. That's SPX. That's gold. But also, I do want to point out this as well on gold. So at the beginning of the week, what I had marked up was really obvious. Beginning of the week, what happened? We caught the buy for 130 pips. And it hit some of my break even, some of them didn't hit. I had a partial that stayed open. I don't know, depending on if you guys took that trade or anyone watching the recording took that trade. But if, for the record, if you are in it still, I would be holding it right now for sure. And if I was looking, I definitely would have entered this for sure. with this liquidity right here, boom, boom, and boom. And we see this big guy right here, this hammer candle. I'm a really big believer in the hammer. I love the hammers. You know, does anyone trade hammer candles or shooting stars candles, anything like that? I want to, if you guys are not familiar with what that is, I'll show you real quick what it is. And I'm going to highlight it here with the circles. Pretty much, this is what I entered off of on the sell, and it's what I entered off of on the buy as well. You could have entered that either way. And when you pair that with the confirmation of a sweep of equal highs, we got equal highs right here, stop loss, and then candle confirmation with the shooting star, you know, you could have entered that. And that's what I did enter and called that out just off of that right there. And then we have this right here as well, pretty much the same thing. You know, wherever you want to draw that line, it's up to you. But so I like to see that. It's a pretty good, like, it happens literally all the time. So it's a real easy setup you can find and identify very quickly. So hopefully you can take advantage of that in the future. Excuse me, earlier in the week, what we had was at the very beginning of the week on gold, we had this right here. What I had marked up at the very beginning of the week was really simple. I was like, okay, right away, I see two things. I see these equal highs, which is great. If that's even or whatever, you know, it's fine. It's not perfect, but so I was like, okay, there's definitely money right there. That's cool. And then I was like, okay, bet we have really equal lows right here as well. So I was like, okay, right off the bat, beginning of the week, I'm camping both of these equal highs, equal lows. And as you guys saw, if you did see and check the trade, we caught 130 pips on this trade. And then actually what happened was it came in and swept those equal lows, and we took a buy for about 100 pips. Right there, we entered about right there. And basically the reason why we entered right where we did, because we had the stop losses right there. I like to draw the visuals. I think it's easier to see if you can like see me draw it out and whatnot. So liquidity right there, and then candle confirmation, tweezer bottoms in there. That's my literally favorite confirmation. That candlestick pattern holds true so much that it should be illegal, but it's not. So we're gonna make a bag off it. And then we put take profit right here at that order block. We took a take profit right here at this order block. Institutional candle right where you would expect it to reject. Okay, so that was the first trade of the week. It went a little bit, it took a little bit of some time to move out and whatnot. Okay, it was really chilling for a while. It took some time to play out, but it ended up coming up there in you know, wicking it to the T really. So you could have probably even sold off that too. You could have sold off that as well for another 100 pips if you really wanted to. So that would have been cool. So also on the daily time frame, I wanted to point this out because this may be relevant in the near future. On gold. I love gold. I think it gives you so many opportunities for setups on a consistent basis. Like every day gives you something for the most part. Swept that liquidity already. So what I like right now with election coming up, there's a couple areas. And as you guys know, with COVID-19, shit can happen real quick, faster than you expect. So I would be anticipating and ready for that to happen. I believe the election's in about a week, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. If someone has the exact day, let me know. I'd love to mention the exact day on this video recording as well. But I have some areas that I would expect for price to get spiked to, okay? Because I would expect a massive spike in price at some point in time. It's a very possible thing that could happen. So I want to be aware and always look at the daily time frame. Daily time frame will tell you a lot, especially when major news events happen. It's more than likely going for a daily time frame. And we're in sync. We're in the sync. We have the same time frame. So we have that. Also, I want to point out this guy down here. I think this is going to be this is going to be relevant here soon. I'm definitely looking to buy off this guy, 100%. It already grabbed the wick, so I'm gonna be looking for this body area. So I would be looking for, basically what that's saying is, I would be looking for buys in this area right here, sells in this area here. You know, this is really far away, but with it being COVID-19, debate, elections, vaccination, shit, aliens, you know what I mean? Who knows what's going to be in the news here soon? So who really knows? What's up, Monica? What's going on? So we have these two. We have two closer daily order blocks, these two right here, and then we have two farther away ones. And now, like I said, I really don't want to rule anything out because it is a possibility that we see some massive spike, like bigger than you think, smaller than you think. It's also possible that nothing happens. It could be just a normal day. More than likely, something's going to happen. So it's always good to be prepared. And the last little area I like down here is this. Even though I don't really like to commit myself to a bias on what's going to happen next, I do believe that gold is long-term bullish. Long-term as in like this decade. I believe it's going to continue up at some point in time. But I'm not saying I think it's going to drop, but I would say I would not be surprised if we see a massive drop. Whether that's, whether that's to there, whether that's to there. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I'm saying I would not be surprised if this does happen. And especially if it comes up here, I would expect that to happen. And matter of fact, you don't really know how long this could play out. It could take a while for this to happen, but I would say you could see this end up happening at some point in time. Maybe whether it's one of those, and then it gives us one of those, and then it continues up, or you don't really know what's going to happen. But like, I'd like to just be prepared. But the reason why I tell you that is because if I'm long-term bullish, meaning like, or matter of fact, let me just put it from perspective for you guys. Like, if you believe that gold is going to break the all-time highs again, then what you would be doing, or maybe what you would be smart to do, would be wait for a massive spike down and look for buys on those massive spikes down. Because I want to show you guys a pattern that I've seen on gold on a high time frame when it comes to massive moves down end up being the bottoms. So first one that I remember, I started trading back during this area in 2018, the March, April 2018. So I saw gold drop. Massive spike down. This was the bottom. Anyway, I want to bring it back closer to present time. They love to play off the order blocks. They love to make you think it's going to drop, and they love to give you trap candles. So I do want to talk about trap candles a little bit, but also just be aware. A lot of times when you see a bearish engulfing candle, it ends up being the low, and these are called trap candles. I'm going to identify a couple of them for you. You can pay attention to these. Trap candle right here, especially this trap candle right here. The reason why I'm calling them traps is, and more specifically, it's not really every candle that drops like that, but it's more so when it makes you think is going to be a sell. They want you to think is going to be a sell, so they play it off like that or whatever, so on. Yeah. But I don't know if that made sense. But anyway, trap candle. This is the one recent that I remember happening right here. I mean, you see my point. You see my point. Basically, what I'm saying is gold has been slowly growing up. It goes up slowly, up, massive drop, slowly, massive drop, slowly, massive drop. And this tends to be the case a lot with gold. It moves up slowly but surely. Massive drop, comes up, massive drop, comes up. Okay, and that's kind of what I've seen to be the flow of gold. You'll see it here again. It goes up slowly, but it just keeps going. A lot of times when gold's going up, it does not give you an entry. Like once it's gone, it's gone. It literally does not give you any other entries. But at some point in time, the high will be made and it'll make a massive drop. And you see this over and over again on gold. So me being aware of that, I'm saying, okay, all things are possible, but don't be surprised if you see it, slowly grow up and then at some point make a massive drop. And then when it does make that massive drop, look for that rejection, look for the small time frame, equal lows, and then we catch the order block play. And then, we end up getting some crazy risk to reward, like, something like that, where it's, 1 to 13 or 1 to 16 or 1 to 20, or something even better. That's what I would be anticipating to happen. And always remember, what's fast won't last and what's slow will grow. What's fast won't last, what's slow will grow. So I believe gold's going to go up. But sure, that's long term. Who knows what could happen for the election? You never really know. But I do want to point out, if any of you are not aware, I want to point this out. I want to show you guys what happened in the last election. The last election, what happened was on gold, and it was okay. So this was the last election candle. 4 years ago, November 8th, okay? You guys see what happened. So just for perspective purposes, let's look at this. For perspective purposes, let's say you knew election was tomorrow. Hold on. Let's just say you're like, okay, election's tomorrow. What's going to happen? What could possibly happen? It looks like it's going to drop based off of this engulfing candle and so on. I mean, you could look at smaller time frame. I'm not sure if it's going to let me. Okay, it does. Okay. So we're on the 4 hour now, day of election last year. I just want to see how this happened. Okay. So we had this here. We had that there. It looks like it grabbed something up here. Not sure, but looks like it grabbed that in there. Okay. That's what happened in election last year. So just, keep in mind something like that could happen. Does not mean it's going to happen, but it's very possible. So what our job is to do to be prepared for this, if you do want to trade this, I would say it's probably risky to trade this. And if you're a beginner trader, I probably would not trade it, or I would just observe what to happen. Because if you're going to be that person that's going to quit your job or travel the world or, have the freedom, you know that you're going to be around for several years. So you're going to see another election in your trading career, even though it's not for 4 years. This is something, it's not one of those things where it's like, oh my God, this isn't going to happen again for 4 years. I need to make sure I capitalize and make money. You don't want to have that mindset. I used to have that mindset when it was come to trading news. And sure, I made some money fast doing that, but I really lost more money than I made with news over time because it just really enforced greedy habits. As a matter of fact, I definitely did not lose more money than I made trading news. But I mean, approaching from that mindset is what I'm saying. Approaching from the mindset of, oh, I have to trade this news because I have to capitalize because there's going to be increased volatility. That's how the average trader thinks. If you want to be a professional trader, trade long term, you can't think like that. Luke Longmire doesn't trade news at all. He says when it's news, it's not normal conditions. I don't trade it. Me personally, I love news. I love the thrill of it because anything can happen. Things can happen fast. If you know how the markets move, you're playing off liquidity and order blocks. There's no reason to be afraid of the news. It's just you do want to ask yourself a couple questions. Where is the money? Where is the money? What could possibly happen? And when the news hits, how am I going to play this, if at all? And really just make sure you have all that planned out ahead of time, and you should be good. Just what you don't want to do is get to make impulse decisions during news, especially at an event like election. Don't have any impulse decisions. You don't want to be making, you don't want to be scalping random times. But I will tell you this as well. I'll give you a quick, for those of you on here and also on the recording, when it comes to scalping, because, and I don't know if any of you guys have ever watched Johnny Pham, but I learned this from Johnny, and so I wanted to give him credit for that. But pretty much when it comes to scalping, but also in news in general, news can really give you a lot of opportunities to scalp. But what's important to not be greedy. What Johnny has taught me about scalping is you're scalping. Don't hold it forever. Don't be greedy. You're in, you're out. Like you're in, you're out. You get in profit, you secure the bag. You're in the profit, you secure the bag. And what people try to do is they try to hold it too long. So if you do scalp news, still have a plan. If you're more experienced, you know what you're doing. Main thing is if you got to predefine your risk, because if you are scalping news, it can get very aggressive, greedy, and sloppy if you are actually trying to scalp news. And that's what I've experienced in my past. But to clean it up and be consistent, just create specific rules. But you're really trading candlesticks on scalping. You will see some, massive rejections. Was there a news that was recently that I'm trying to think? Let's see, Forex Factory. Okay. Sometimes you'll see NFP or FOMC or something like that where it'll make a lot of fast movements back and forth. But what's important, if you do like to scalp, like if you are a scalper and you can handle that stress, go for it, trade little candlestick patterns, and you're going to make a lot of money like that. But if you're someone that can't control your emotions on a small time frame basis, then definitely would not encourage scalping. Okay. So one last thing to go over would be USD CAD. I do have a setup on USD CAD as well that I really like. Is actually two setups. I'm looking at this order block up here that took out these highs for a sell, but also I would like to get a buy up to that candle. And I want to explain why this is the case. And so I do have a buy limit down here. It's a 1 to 6 risk reward for take profit 1, 1 to 11 take profit 2. So it's a pretty good risk reward. I would say it's pretty good risk reward. Taking it back to previous time, just so you can see like what's happening. So really, I really do trade top down. So everything's with a high time frame. First thing that happened, this was 2 months ago. Okay, we have a weekly order block. We have a weekly order block play, and notice that all this what we're showing you right now is all fractal information. So these equal lows got taken out, and even though they're not like perfectly equal, whatever, the point is there's liquidity there. It left a weekly order block, and this was back in December 2019. So we end up rejecting off this candle, and pretty much the reason why this is important is because whenever a weekly order block, a weekly institutional candle is rejected, what that means is the weekly order flow is in that direction now. Pretty much it means the swing direction has changed because the order flow, the volume, and the money has shifted from bearish to bullish or bullish to bearish. In this case, bearish to bullish. So with that being said, we knew we were looking for buys at that point. And pretty much what happened here on USD CAD, we knew on the weekly time frame we're looking for a buyer's market. We knew that buyer's market on the weekly time frame. Let me just erase all this. Weekly time frame, bullish bias. Draw the fib. Okay. So we go back just so you can see. Okay, let's just say that none of that's happened yet. For me, I look for entry in anywhere in this area, really. The 70 to the 88. That's really where the premium discount entry would be for me. Okay. So what happened was you see that USD CAD dropped right into that 75 area, 70.5 area. Right, made a move. Awesome, lit. So once it made a move off there, once again, you're not looking to sell it. You're looking for it to come back. Where is it going to come back to? Where could I find an entry for this? Okay, and this is what happened. Let's see what happened. I should need some water. My throat would be going crazy. Okay. Speed it up. Right. So what actually happened was there was no like clean order block for it to play off. So it really made sense. It made sense that it would come in sweep. It made sense. Makes sense. Which is what it did. But anyway, I don't know how far away this is, but I'm trying to show you this. Okay, here it is. Okay. Perfect. So two things happened here. We're on a weekly order flow is bullish. So we know it's a bullish market. Okay. These equal lows got swept and we developed a 4-hour institutional candle right here. 4-hour institutional candle right here. Okay. Everyone see that? Does everyone see that? It's the candle that swept the lows. It's the candle that swept the lows. Now on a smaller time frame, this is so important. I did not catch this trade. I don't know if it was the wrong time of day or if I just didn't see it. It's looking back in hindsight. We have equal lows formed right above the order block. And so anyway, it swept these lows right here, rejected this 4-hour order block, rejected that 4-hour institutional candle. Everyone see that? Rejected it, created this order block. Price came back down into this order block, and then it took off. That's exactly what happened. So now, with that being said, I'm looking to play off the candle that mitigated the candle that mitigated the candle. And my personal rule is 3 order blocks is the most I will do in a row. I'm not going to, try to force it or whatever. This one's a 1 to 6 trade, so I like it. And just because there's an institutional candle does not mean it's guaranteed to hit. Does not mean that the analysis was right. It doesn't mean that it has to hit there. But what I like about these institutional candles is that it gives you really good risk reward trades. There's money there. And if you're playing within the weekly order flow, it tends to be right way more often than not when you're playing within the weekly order flow. And that's something that I've done, that I've really added to my trading plan, is trading within the weekly order flow. So smaller time frame, Fibonacci retracement. Smaller time frame fib, just for extra confluence. You don't need the fib. It just can tell you a lot. It can help. So it looks like it already rejected the 70.5 or the 71. So what's good to see is that the 79 is right underneath this stop loss, or right underneath this low, and also right within this order block right here. Okay. So with that being said, for me, that's enough confirmation for me to put a buy limit right there. And put take profit 1 right here above this guy. Right where there would be a stop loss. That's where you put the take profit. You put the take profit at other people's stop loss. Put the take profit at other people's stop loss. That's take profit 1. But ultimately, like I was saying, I'm very bullish on USD CAD. I believe it's going to go up. If you happen to get in down there, I would be holding with break even stop loss. I definitely see that USD CAD, should be able to come up here as well. So I wouldn't take all of the profits right there. I would definitely take some there, but I would probably hold. I'll have to see what go look at the math, what percentage I'm holding up to here, but I'm gonna hold probably at least half up to there because I believe that there is a lot of potential for upside on this one. So I'm taking out on USD CAD as well. That one's 1 to 6 on TP1, 1 to 11 on TP2. We got the sell limit on SPX. And we have the gold as well. We have the sell limit up here as well. Sounds good. All right. Awesome. If you guys are not already, you can stay connected with me on a couple different platforms. My Telegram is t.me/infinite abundance. I call out a few signals in there every week. My Instagram, infinite abundance 777. I would love to get connected with you guys. And my YouTube is infinite abundance. And anyone that's looking for more mentorship when it comes to Forex, looking for more extra help, I do have a private group for that as well. So if you want in that group, definitely message me and I can add you to that group. I'm doing a mentorship group for the month of November. Just let me know if you want to be in that. Just send me a message on Instagram or Telegram, Instagram or Telegram. But with that being said, that is all we have here this evening. Appreciate you guys for hopping on. For those of you watching the recording as well, much love. Hopefully you guys make some money off these trades. Hopefully you got some new dots connected in your minds. Hopefully you can use this for future trading. Peace out, fellas.